Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Brothers Take podcast, and welcome back, Adam.
Hello.
Hey. And welcome everyone else who's listening to us for the first time. This is the podcast where three brothers discuss their interests, largely gaming, but also other things. My name's Kris, and I'm joined by my brothers Adam.
Hello.
And Eric.
Hello.
And we are back in the room to give our take this week on various trailers and announcements that came out last week. The good, the bad, and the mixed in terms of reactions, receptions, and all that stuff. So we've got the week kicked off with an Avatar trailer. We got some Gotham Knights gameplay during the week. We got some news about Starfield and a bunch of other stuff that we're going to touch on. So we're going to talk about all those things during the podcast, give our takes on everything. And we'd love to hear from you guys throughout. So if you're watching this on YouTube, please feel free to jump down into the comments to share your thoughts and everything we'll bring up. And if you enjoyed this video, why not give us a thumbs up, hit subscribe, click that notification bell for all future content. If you guys are listening to us on audio platforms, and you can also touch base with us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at The Brothers Take, again, to give your take on everything we bring up here today. But without further ado, let's jump in. Okay, let's start with the good. The week started strong. With an Avatar trailer.
Yeah.
What? Oh, am I going to categorize this as good, bad, and mixed?
No. I was about to say, would you not want to start? Would you not want to end on the positive note?
No. Because you know what? It's going to be like, here's the good news, here's the bad news, and here's the maybe we don't all feel the same way about this news.
Okay.
That's what So with the good Avatar trailer, I think everyone can agree. Wow. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I didn't think it was a good trailer, but it's like it looks fantastic. It looks like Horizon nearly, you know.
Wow. Yeah.
And just it's weird that it's been 15 years.
15 years, yeah.
And it hasn't aged a day. You know, it's like it looks incredible, but it just goes to show how amazing the first one looked.
Yeah.
In comparison.
Yeah. And he's wanting to make is a 4 more after this?
Oh, right.
It's 5 altogether.
Five altogether.
Mm-hmm.
So
there's
3
more after this.
Yeah.
And oh my god, it took him 15 years just for this one. But yeah, visually, holy shit. And what I love about the trailer is they don't spoil the entire movie. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Oh, I suppose it is a teaser. I was about to say, like, it's not a good trailer, but it is a teaser, so that's
a teaser trailer. It gives you a sense of we're back in the world, and it also gives you a sense of this one's very much about family, I think.
Family and the aquaticness. Under the water.
Did you catch who the composer is this time? Because like they really did capture the heart of Horner's work, but I hope that they do him justice.
Yeah, I don't know who the composer is. I'm sure that's out there on the old IMDb. Back in the day now, if we were doing this in person, Eric would have hooked that up right away. He'd been like, and it's also starring such and such. And they were in...
Here's some trivia for you.
You know what, though? I was thinking about, when I saw the title, I was thinking about people who used to mix up, like, Avatar with, like, the Last Airbender, right? So it's like, okay, but, you know, it's become its own separate thing. And now it's Avatar, The Way of Water. It's like, are you trying to confuse people? Like, come on, that sounds
that's never a good title. And it's still
The Way of Water?
No, Avatar.
Oh, Avatar.
For this, it isn't. Like, I understand that they're avatars, but now they're no longer that, really. I don't know if they're going to still start using, like, if there's other characters that use Na'vi as avatars or not. But...
I mean, if they had just called it Pandora or something and just let the story of the 5
would have been a perfect name.
Be about the world.
The world of Pandora. Yeah, this is how it works.
That is one hell of a visually awesome looking world.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I agree that the visuals look amazing. I also agree with something Adam said, which is that I suppose it's more so given the like if the last one came out 2 years ago, then this is perfectly fine.
Yeah.
But it's been 15 years and it's just like dropping it like There you go. And it's like some kids now who weren't even born when that.
Don't do
the
that,
first
Chris.
one
Don't do
came
that
out.
to us.
No, seriously, no.
Yeah, but don't.
Be interested in this one, but like it didn't have any kind of like setup. But I suppose there's a proper trailer coming down the line, right? It's a teaser.
Yeah.
But visually, it all looks great. And is Zoe Saldana still going to be in it?
Yeah, I think that. Yeah, that's
the same cast.
Like it's her.
Yeah, no, it's Zoe Saldana and Sam Worthington. They're both still in it.
I don't mind him so much, but she's great. Like,
Yeah.
so
She's great.
that's fantastic. Okay,
That
cool.
that first movie gets some flack though, doesn't it?
Yeah, why is that?
I don't know. I don't get why. I don't know. I'm just a sucker for films that have like really good world building. I don't.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
like, it's not the most original story, but so what?
No.
There's like tons of movies out there that kind of rinse and repeat. But in terms of the
entire
world building,
franchise
is really
like that.
good.
I feel like it gets the flack, and maybe if someone out there doesn't like the original Avatar, they can tell us. I like it. I think it's fine. I don't love it, but I do like it, and I would be interested to see more of it. But I have a feeling the flack comes from that when the first one came out, there was a huge hype and buzz around this original movie. Like it's not based on anything really, and like the technology in it and all this stuff. So critics were like, "Holy shit!" Right? About this movie. So I think it had been slightly overhyped for just general audiences who went to see it and went, yeah, it looks good, but there's nothing new in this. That's the way they saw it, maybe. And it's like, no, but the technology you're looking at is the something new. That's the new. It's like, are you not? Wow, look at that. That's going to change cinema. But I suppose general audience viewers were just sitting back, taking on the experience and being like, I've seen this before.
I think it's definitely if you're buying like a new television or something like that, this to me is the go-to movie to just test to see how does it look. Whether that was like back in the day buying a 3D television, because this is the only film in existence really that is actually fine in 3D. It actually utilizes 3D.
It was pretty stunning in 3D.
Or if you're getting an OLED television and you want to see like your colors pop and stuff like this, well, this is an absolute, visual eyegasm, I guess. Is one way to describe it.
Yes. Okay.
Isn't that just like
my eyes?
Isn't that just like crying?
With happiness, though. With happiness.
Yeah. It's a certain type
I'm
of
an
crying.
expert at that.
Okay. What's the go-to game for testing a new TV?
Ooh. I always load up the
Skyrim.
yeah. Can it make it look better? I always load up the little bit with the boat in Uncharted 4 with the islands.
Yeah.
Where you're with
Right.
Sam. That to me is
perfect.
that or Horizon actually. Horizon, well, I have the first one, I don't have the second one, so that always is really nice to see because you just got so much different variations
Colors
of color
and vibrancy.
things like that. And I always turn on the photo mode because you can change the day cycle, so you can start to see how does it look like at nighttime and stuff like that. So that's always a good test, I think.
You can also test now with Ghost of Tsushima. It's another good one now to test with because there's so many colors in that.
It's
What
pretty.
And that's
what
a
a game.
pretty ass game. And if it doesn't look pretty, then yes, your TV is fucked.
Yeah.
It is not the game's fault. Let me tell you that. You need to go get a new TV. But actually, speaking of games, and speaking on Avatar, EA have come out and said that the Avatar game is Frontiers of Pandora. I think is the title of it.
Yeah.
Will be out before March of 2023.
Okay.
We will probably see something at the Summer Game Fest, I would say. And in a way, that's kind of perfect timing for them. If the movie comes out in December and there's a huge buzz around it or a huge hype or people are back in that world, and then soon after, here's the game.
Yeah.
It's kind of perfect timing in a way. I don't know if it would be a good idea to release the game at the same time, because sometimes it is nice to have that little bit of like, oh, I'm craving more, and then the something more comes. You know?
Yeah.
Do you think they're gonna meet that though?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll
be
Don't worry,
interested to
guys.
see how that's going
Don't
to
worry,
look.
guys. That one, they'll probably meet that one.
I'm interested to see more of it. I like the idea, and I think it makes sense to do a game in Pandora. But
yeah,
we'll
I'd be
see.
curious to see what I remember feeling that way when we saw the reveal, where it's like it looks great,
Mm-hmm.
How does it play?
Yeah.
And depending on how it plays will make or break that game for me. But then some people will probably love it if it's a player versus player thing. I don't know, but I'd prefer a more story narrative driven game exploring that world.
Yeah. Nowadays, games have gotten very much like that, where like if it's a somewhat new IP, it's like, no, we need to see the gameplay here. You can't just give us a trailer. Like, we need to know what we're buying.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah.
The cinematic trailers only really work if you're somewhat familiar with the mechanics.
Like
of it. You've played
like
that game,
like God of War Ragnarok.
Yeah,
like they could just do a cinematic and they'll get the hype, they get the buzz because people already know how that game plays.
And they've already bought it in their minds.
Yeah,
whoever wants it, it's already decided they want it, and it's already game
I
of the
think
year in their
at
head.
this point, I think From Software can just go, yeah, we have a new game coming out.
yeah.
And that's it.
They don't need
And
to do a
just-
trailer. Just
No.
like here's a poster. Here's the release date.
There's the title. They don't even show you anything. It's just a black screen title.
At this
release
point,
date.
they could
That's
sell
it.
an NFT and people will buy it.
Oh, no way. Yeah. No, they should actually do. Wouldn't it be kind of interesting though, From Software, based on their name alone, like release a game, and it's a blank, like case insert. Like there's no artwork. You know nothing about the game. You have no idea what you're going in for. Only that you're buying in on that From Software experience for those who are into that.
Yeah.
And then it's like the fucking craziest motherfucking game of all time, and it just destroys you. And you're like, great for people who love that, like, you know.
Well, that concept would work like pre-internet. It wouldn't work now.
Would it not though? Purely on the everyone's just really curious, like, what the fuck is this
Well,
game?
Well,
Which
yeah,
seems
so- yeah, 'cause
nothing of-
Twitch streamers would go through the roof
Yeah.
because everyone would be watching Twitch streamers play it.
That's true. Actually, I get what you're saying. Yeah,
But it's
before
just so
the
many-
internet, everyone would have to try it themselves as opposed to check it out someone else doing it.
And
Yeah,
it
yeah.
like there'd be leaks, and you just wouldn't be able to keep that kind of secrecy.
Unless
That's true.
unless they put a code. I know we've gone really off topic away from the thing,
Avatar?
from Avatar, but unless
Sure.
they put a coding into it that actually stops it from ever being connected to the internet.
Wow. I don't know why you
That's
do that.
impossible, but okay.
Man, it's From Software. It's in their name. They can do it.
All you
They
would
can
have
do
to
it.
do, all you would have to do, is just like put a camera in front of your screen and just upload from there.
Yeah, when the camera looks at it, it's black. The camera
Yeah.
can't see anything.
It's like,
It's just
how have they done this?
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, the visuals that the Avatar game does look good, but we do need to see proper gameplay.
Yes. Well,
Going back
moving
to
on
that.
from Avatar. Yes, good teaser. Need to see a proper trailer, but all looks good. Looks fine. Looks like we're right back in where we left off. But yeah, it needs a little bit of setup, I think. Needs a little bit more setup next time they're showing it off, just because you can't just do that 15 years later. I mean, technically that's time enough for a reboot. Okay, come on. But anyway, next piece of good news came out last year. This is not 100% confirmed, but heavily rumored. Is that Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis, the mobile game, for anyone who's following that or interested in that, is said to come out in September of this year.
I can see it, but it's just going to be like, here's episode 1 of it.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes. Yes.
Oh yeah. I know, but looks so good.
It does look good.
That
I just hope
trailer
it
that-
hasn't, because I've been playing a little bit of First Soldier. Not a lot of it, just to kind of like, I just wanted to see, like, is this something I'm really going to want to keep on my phone, because it's taking up a hefty amount of storage. Like, so I played another little bit of it, and I was like, yeah, no, this is definitely not for me, so I deleted it. And I just hope it doesn't kind of follow a similar vein to that, where it's like the season-based thing, where you kind of have, you do these challenges to unlock certain things, and I hope that it is as they presented, which is the full kind of Final Fantasy VII experience, with this new art style. Hopefully, we'll see.
Hopefully.
I have a feeling it's going to be episodic.
Yeah, I imagine so.
Well, they
but
said
I
that.
don't know. But I mean even that, like, you play the bombing run, right?
Oh,
Right up to the train, and then like the next one maybe is like you play like I don't know how much free roam you'll get, or maybe like you play all of Midgar.
Do
But
you
then
not
the
think it would
next
start with Before Crisis? Or Crisis Core, even?
no,
No, you don't
no,
think?
I don't.
No.
I don't think so. I think
No,
they'll
because
start with
they mainly showed off the bombing run in the trailer.
yeah, they're starting
Did
off
they? I
with
thought they
Midgar
showed
and Final
Zack.
Fantasy 7. They showed that at the very end to
Yeah.
tease that we will also be doing these.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think they're definitely.
God.
But I just mean that I don't know if you'll get to like run around the open world.
Yeah, probably
We'll
not.
see. I
Yeah,
don't
probably
know.
not.
You know what I mean?
I think
So
that's fine, though. I'm
yeah,
excited to get into it. It's weird that we're having these, two series of Fantasy 7.
hey! I'm not complaining.
I'm not complaining either, but it's
no.
interesting to have these two running versions at the same time. It's the same game, but like obviously they play different, they look different. Both of them to look forward to.
But what's interesting is as well, one of them I feel is going to be faithful to the original, in that it is just a modern retelling.
Yeah.
And then one of them we're not so sure, and it's kind of we're on our toes about it, and we don't know what's going to happen now. And if so we're going to have these like diverting where it's like this is the path you're familiar with, this is the path that has diverted. We'll get to play them both, so that's fantastic. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. I think we will see
I wonder how large it's going to
episode 1 by the end of September.
I might need to get
I think
a phone with bigger storage.
we might see that at Summer Game Fest, because Summer Game Fest isn't consoles only.
No, yeah, you might.
So there's a possibility we will get to see some of that at it.
They never really focus on mobile stuff, which is kind of unfortunate. They always kind of treat it like. Do you remember in previous E3s when they used to do like PSP and Vitas, and they used to have this just like really short montage where they'd have the console up on the screen and they just kind of show you the game playing on it, and they always treated it like as if we also have these like, unlike the way Nintendo has always treated their handhelds and those game experiences, they've always treated them very seriously. Mobile kind of gets that treatment as well, and there's some fucking really good games on mobile, and they just don't bother advertising.
But Ever Crisis might get a different treatment considering what it is.
Hopefully, but the other one didn't. First Soldier.
No, true.
That's true.
Yeah. I think.
But it doesn't have the bombing run mission. I mean, we're talking about this, and all I'm thinking about is that music in my head.
I know, but I guarantee that they probably make more money off of First Soldier than they would ever with Ever Crisis.
Yeah, probably, maybe.
That's sad.
Either
That's
way,
what's wrong with the world.
it's going to come out, right? Because Chris, you shut your mouth now. It's coming out in September, late September. Shut your mouth.
No, I agree.
Okay.
Oh, I think that definitely will.
will.
Because it's episodic. There's no need to delay that.
Yeah.
I imagine they probably have.
Damn it, you said the word.
What?
You said the D word. Now it's gonna be. They're gonna postpone it.
No, I don't think it's gonna happen.
The delay word?
So,
No, you said it again.
But we're only talking about an episode, so like that will be out,
Do you know what I come across recently on iOS? I'm not sure if it's on Android because I haven't a way to check it, but
All right.
Alien Isolation.
On iOS?
Yeah.
What in the fuck?
Yeah.
So you can
the full fucking thing, like DLC and everything.
So you can not play it on your phone.
And
I mean that in a nice way, by the way. I don't give it away.
It runs and looks better than it does on console.
Yeah, definitely not playing it. Are you kidding me?
That's mad to see that type of game now is playable on your phone.
Is it because everything is scaled down and nothing is like
stretched?
Well,
yeah.
Right?
There's the resolution. Obviously, they don't have to worry too much about the resolution, but it's the anti-aliasing and things like that, right? So there's less flickering as you're going past things. Like you can read the signs more clearly and stuff like that. Yeah, and I think the frame rate is higher and stuff like that, because that's one of the games that didn't get it didn't get updated for next gen.
Our podcast looks better on your phone than on the TV as well. Actually, just so you know, there's just a bit of
I'd imagine so.
For a bit of information there. This looks way better on your phone. The smaller the screen, the better, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I joke. Well, speaking on delays and that, time to get to the bad news. This is bad news. There's no other way to put it, but maybe it's for the better. Some bad news is for the better, and that is that Bethesda have announced that both Starfield and Redfall, which were due to come out this year, have been delayed until 2023.
What's Redfall?
Redfall
is that game where you're playing as the guys and they're killing vampires in the streets.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
So,
okay, yeah.
That's probably not on. That's not necessarily on our radar, but there's probably a lot of people out there that were excited for that kind of game.
Mm-hmm.
So that has been delayed as well. Starfield, I think, is the big one though, and it's such a shame to kind of get that news now. Well, maybe it's setting expectations, but like with the Xbox showcase coming up, everyone was really excited to like. We probably will still see more Starfield. But
I'm pretty surprised to hear that.
So was I.
Not so much Redfall, but it's just Bethesda have a pretty good track record, I think, in meeting deadlines. Although the games tend not to be finished, but they do meet them.
Yeah, and I always thought that was fine. Like we still buy them. No, it's funny because Adam, you had joked on our page about predicting delays and that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I never said that Starfield would get delayed. I was wrong on this one. I said they will make that date based on the date that they said, which was the 11th of the 11th, 2022. I was like, oh, we will 100% see Starfield.
No, my recollection is that I said that and you were saying we'll see.
I was joking, though. I was joking.
Yeah.
But okay, maybe I cursed it when I said it.
Yeah.
I was right about God of War and I was right about Legend of Zelda. But I actually did not think Starfield would be delayed.
With Legend of Zelda, I mean, we don't even have a title. We got nothing.
Exactly. I was fucking shocked, and people were like,
strange.
"Yeah, so we will see that this year." It's like, are you fucking kidding me? All we saw was him falling from the sky. We haven't even got a fucking title. We got nothing. How could you possibly think that was coming?
I think the reason, because I thought that would be coming too, just because the game, they already have the game engine. They already have their world. Like I can't imagine. Totally. I can't see them adding much more to it. And when it comes to Nintendo games, they do tend to just reuse.
Yeah.
They just manage to build an interesting story around it. But I'm pretty surprised that's. It's supposedly it's not running on Twitch. Well.
Yeah, maybe they are doing something different with it though as well. That we don't know about yet because we've seen nothing. So there could be a surprise that they've been working on that maybe is something the first game could not do, and I don't know. I suppose we'll wait and see. But how did you feel about Starfield being delayed? I mean, Eric, it doesn't really affect you because it gives you more time to get your hands on Xbox. Maybe
that's true.
I'm not too bummed out by it actually. I don't.
Again, it's one of those things. Need to see the gameplay because if it ends up looking like something like if it ends up looking like something like what's that game, Rage or Outer Worlds or I don't know, one of those indie terraforming with Mars games. I don't know. Like if it looks like something where I'm like, nah, gameplay looks a bit crap, I'm not really missing out. Like, you know what I mean?
Well, Outer Worlds is supposed to be really good.
Oh no, it's supposed to be really good, but the gameplay wouldn't appeal to me. But it's supposed to be really good. It's getting a sequel, but you know, you can make anything look good with the CGI trailer, and it's been done countless times.
Mm-hmm.
But doesn't mean the game is actually going to be.
I imagine we're getting a gameplay showcase this summer.
I'd say so. Yeah, just to kind of, please people a little bit. It's like I know you can see them coming out going, I know you're a little disappointed to hear that news, but here we have something to show you, just to kind of show you where we're at. But I don't really mind because it's just kind of I still have so much stuff to kind of catch up on anyway.
Oh yeah, well, what are you doing? You've got so much to play. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
I was a little bit disappointed only because I was like, that's like the big Xbox exclusive game.
Yeah.
That I was looking forward to this year. I don't know if Hellblade 2 is coming out this year or not. We'll probably see more of that at the Xbox Showcase as well.
Was that announced for this year?
I don't know if they announced when it's coming out, just that it is on the way. But maybe that'll come out this year. I don't know. But yeah, so I was a little bit disappointed because I was like, oh man, that was like the big one I was looking forward to. Like, there's a lot of games on Xbox I'm enjoying, but like that one in particular was like the big one where it's like, well, I can't get that on PlayStation. So the fact that it has been delayed to next year is like, got to kind of wait that little bit longer to really feel like, yeah, I've really gotten like the use out of the Xbox now. Because like I enjoy Halo, but I'm not as into Halo as everyone else is actually.
Well, all the fans are not that into Halo anymore either. They're all getting
what? Why?
The TV
is that
show.
True?
Well, yeah, the TV show they're really not liking.
Well, and there's more of the bad then.
And then Halo Infinite. I mean, I'm sure the multiplayer is fantastic, so I'm sure but I think the story they're not loving entirely.
I haven't touched the story yet.
I was a little intrigued by it, and like I'm not finished it. I'm still in it. But I just kind of come back to that every once in a while because I do find personally the gameplay loop a little bit repetitive. So I play like a little bit of it, and then I go, I'm kind of tired of this now. I want to do something else.
I want to change. So
Halo, I think at its core, it's the multiplayer, isn't it?
It's the multiplayer.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah. That's where the fun really lies.
The TV show is I disappointed the fans through and through.
Oh,
yeah,
because they showed his face and Cortana wasn't blue.
Cortana is blue.
Oh, she's blue.
She's blue. But it's because they show his face all the time, and he's just nothing like Master Chief. It's like when it's like, here's Resident Evil movie. Here's this character.
We'll get to that.
I'm teasing it. Here's a character, and they're named whatever, right? They're named William Birkin, but they're nothing like William Birkin. That's the sense. It's like, here's Master Chief, but he's nothing like Master Chief. And there's just certain other things as well where it's like, that's not how it is in the games and stuff. So yeah, it's just sort of disappointing people. But the CGI actually looks really good for a first off.
That's
Paramount
only
Plus
on
TV.
Paramount Plus, isn't it?
Paramount Plus, yeah.
Okay. Well, guys, let us know. Jump down in the comments on YouTube or get in touch. Let us know. Are you disappointed with the delay for Starfield, or are you happy that then it has a higher chance of avoiding any kind of like a Cyberpunk release or something like that? That it will be a finished product by the time it comes out. And also, have you been watching the Halo show? Let us know what you think of that. Or Redfall. If Redfall is the one you're more disappointed about, let us know if that's the game on your radar. But now let's jump into the mixed. The ones that it's like, there's mixed reviews on these things. And Eric, you actually brought up the Resident Evil trailer. So why don't we go there first?
You see the two of them?
I don't think so.
All right.
I think I only saw one teaser. Is there much of a difference between the two?
No, not really. I think the second one adds just a little bit more confusion.
Ah, lovely.
To the tone, if you get me.
Yes.
Right.
Not so much.
I only watched the one that Chris shared with us.
Okay.
So I didn't even realize there was a second trailer. So
for anyone who hasn't seen it, there's a teaser trailer now on YouTube. Go check it out for Netflix's Resident Evil show, which will be it's just coming out on July 14th. So just after we'll have all finished Stranger Things season 4. That's part of the good, actually. It's Stranger Things season 4 month. Fuck yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck yeah. Anyway.
It's probably going to be a better Resident Evil.
Could be. But what did you guys think of the Resident Evil teaser? Eric, I'd like to come to you first, only because you're definitely the biggest Resident Evil fan of the three of us.
Really?
Okay.
How are you not? You pick up the games, you finish them 4 times in a night, and then like you definitely know more about it than any of us. Like, has Adam played Resident Evil 2 yet?
No, he hasn't.
How many times have I played it?
Look, I've played the original. Fuck you.
Once, yeah. I rest my fucking case. We didn't even pick up Resident Evil 3.
I have Resident Evil 3.
No.
Yeah. I haven't. I think I cleared that 3 times in one day.
Yeah, and cleared Village like fucking 4 times in 1 week.
Yeah.
Anyway,
good stuff.
So I just assuming you're the biggest Resi fan of us.
Yeah, sure. Okay, let's go with that. I just feel like that's a lot of pressure now on me.
Sure. Under pressure.
Walking down the street. Anyway, what do you want to ask me, Chris?
Not the
Those are not the lyrics.
What?
I'm asking you what you think of the trailer.
Yeah, no, that's what. All right. The issue with the trailer I have with it is that it's just not Resident Evil. It's set in like the future.
Yeah.
They're not. It looks again like they're going. Here's a zombie show, and we're just going to slap Umbrella, and here's Albert Wesker. Here's the character, but they're not. It's not actually following what the games have done in the past. It's not doing that. It's just they're doing their own thing.
And I have actually a weird point on that I'm going to have to bring up, and it's actually going to make you feel even weirder about it, Eric. It's bizarre.
Okay.
What it is where was I reading it? Some reviewer got to watch the first 2 episodes, right?
Okay.
And he gave and he was like, I actually really liked it. I really enjoyed it. It was really good. I think people are going to enjoy this, and if the show continues in this momentum, I think it's going to be a really good show, right? Just as a show.
Yes.
However, he got to talk to the creator of the show, and the creator this is bonkers to me. The creator has said that the show treats it as though it's following on from the games. Everything in the games happened. And so one of the mysteries is like, how did Wesker survive that volcano? In Resident Evil 5. I'm like, wait, what? I thought this was just like some like Elseworlds like a what if story, like, oh, maybe in this version Wesker's a father and it's in the future and things are but apparently it's the same Wesker. I don't know. I have no fucking idea. So that's really interesting. So I'll let you ponder on that for a bit. Adam, what did you think of the teaser trailer?
I thought this was the next 28 weeks later with Resident Evil as its title. Because it kind of shared in terms of the overall look, tone, and aesthetics.
Yeah.
With those than it does Resident Evil. I don't understand how this is now the 3rd Resident Evil kind of live action.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not counting the cutscenes from the director's cut game. It's still nothing like the source material, like at all. Like, there's zombies in it. Wow. Like, there was the liquor and stuff. Like, I'm rewatching Stranger Things season 3.
Whoa, sorry. Just before, was there liquor in the trailer? Did I miss that?
Yeah, there's liquor in the trailer.
Oh,
I missed that.
I missed that too. Anyway, sorry.
It like jumps on someone and bites them. Yeah.
Cool.
Or some thing that looks like a liquor at least.
Right.
There's definitely other kind of monsters in it. But anyway, I was watching Stranger Things season 3, and the fucking mind flare flayed thingamajiggy is more Resident Evil than any Resident Evil movie we've seen.
Yes.
Right.
And
that entire hospital sequence in 3 is great.
Yeah,
it's terrifying.
I'm not recognizing that this is Resident Evil. It's like you're telling me it's Resident Evil, but I'm not seeing it as that. It's like when you go in somewhere asking for a Coca-Cola and they give you a Pepsi. It's like, yeah, okay, it's cola, but I ordered a Coca-Cola.
I get the feeling, I don't know if you guys get the same feeling, that someone pitched a zombie show to Netflix, and Netflix have the rights to Resident Evil, right? Because they did that Infinite Darkness.
Oh yeah.
So I'm half wondering, did they kind of, well, let's blend these two together. I like your script, but we need something that's going to draw people in. So let's call it Resident Evil and just sprinkle in Umbrella. As you have an organization, let's just change the name of that organization. Like, maybe it fit that way. I don't know. It's strange. It's so weird. It's a weird thought. However,
I'm not looking forward to it. At least I don't think I'm going to watch it. Really,
I think I will. I thought the trailer, just as a trailer on its own, looked okay. Looked like an okay show.
Yeah.
I thought, like, it looks fairly high quality. Lance Reddick is a great actor. never would I cast him as Albert Wesker, but he's a great actor. So I'm curious to see what his performance as a character who is named Wesker is like, you know? And yeah, it looked like high quality show.
What's strange to me is that the way the movies and this show, they seem to be so focused on the kind of, you know, mad scientist T-virus thing all the time. Like the laboratory side of Resident Evil. And it's, you know, the first Resident Evil is it's a house of horrors. It's, yes, it's the T-virus created in the lab, but that's how it began. But that's not the kind of the soul kind of feel of Resident Evil. They never seem to capture the soul of Resident Evil, which is something that 7 went back to, was the House of Horrors thing, and then 8 kind of expanded on that a little bit more, like bringing it into the village. But they just don't. The importance of Resident Evil is not the T-virus in a lab, and both 7 and 8 and 4 show that isn't the case. That's not the important part of Resident Evil. That's not the soul of Resident Evil. It's a house of horrors. That's the important part.
Do you think, not to get too like serious about it, but do you think that the showrunners or scriptwriters might have decided to run a parallel between the global pandemic? In that they're like, well, yes, we could do a House of Horrors, but it'd be far more relatable to viewers if we pitched that global pandemic thing.
No, I imagine
maybe this was in the running along before that. Maybe
I don't know. I think regardless of if there was a pandemic or not, I imagine that the people involved in this project are possibly not. They're familiar with the franchise, but not fans of the games. They're probably fans of the films. Like, that's their Resident Evil. And
but he knows that Wesker was in a volcano. He knows that. Like, he's
right. So they would have had meetings. They would have had
hardcore
meetings.
Fandom, man.
Right, but that's like saying that, you know, for what was it, Resident Evil Afterlife, they're huge fans of the games because they have a reference to a Las Plagas style zombie. It's like, just because they have that elements in it, they would be talking to the game creators and they would be showing them concept art and telling them things that, you know, story beats, and then they go off with it. But I imagine it's similar to, like, you know, when people saw Bane in Batman and Robin and they thought that that's what Bane was.
Yes, I hear you. I feel you.
This seems like the equivalent of the 2021 Mortal Kombat movie, where it's like you listen to the director and it's like, yeah, you sound like you're a fan of the game. Then you watch the movie, you're like, oh, you're really not a fan of these games at all. This is the same thing. Like, yeah, I hear that you're talking about the volcano, which is clearly, you know, that's something in the video game and everything. But then you watch a trailer, it's like, yeah, you're really not a fan though. You're not getting it.
Yeah.
Like 2036 new Raccoon City. It's like, oh, hold on. That shit was nuked. Where the hell did you build this crap?
So apparently, yeah, New Raccoon City has been built in South Africa or something like that.
Okay.
So it's not in America at all. Okay. And then so that's 2022, I think, and then 2036 or 2036, as you said, Eric, is set in London or something, post-apocalyptic.
Okay.
And even the whole,
they're making a medicine called Joy, and obviously it goes wrong.
Yeah, that they talk about that a little bit more in the
other trailer.
Second trailer.
I'd like to see that.
But if it's still set in the same world, it wouldn't be Umbrella.
That's what. Yeah,
Umbrella
that's
is being completely
like,
shut down.
Yeah, who would go with
city?
Them, right?
They have the city. It's like shaped like the Umbrella logo. They like, and then there's all these little. That's what I'm saying. Is like, I mean, that shit was so prevalent in the movies.
Yeah,
you know the way even her eyeball was an umbrella symbol. It's
what
the hell?
Umbrella is like Disney in the movies. Yeah. Hey, you shut up. Those movies are amazing. You didn't even go see the last one. It was incredible.
Of course I didn't.
They within the space of an hour and a half, they butchered their own canon. Never mind. It's incredible to watch. Go on.
It wasn't even an hour and a half. It was the first 10 minutes. They just completely changed the entire canon of the series that they established for the last whatever amount of years.
Yeah.
They just changed it all.
It's fucking bizarre. But I mean, look at it. I'm paying for Netflix. It's coming on Netflix. It's not going to hurt to watch the first episode, see how it is, and then keep going. I think I would be more excited for it, though. I'm not excited for it. I'm just like kind of curious. I think I could be excited for it if we had already had very accurate Resident Evil interpretations before, where it's like, okay, cool. So someone's doing a fresh interpretation. Do you get what I mean? Like where it's yes, we've had like maybe accurate Batman movies, and now someone wants to do an alternate weird take on Batman. Cool, because I already have those. So let's just see what someone does with it. It's like, what if Batman was like this? But unfortunately, every Resident Evil adaptation has been, what if Resident Evil was like this? Right?
Yeah.
The closest
I think it's Apocalypse.
interpretation is probably Welcome to Raccoon City, but I mean, enjoy watching that. I actually think that could have made a better. Well, I don't know if better is the right word because I haven't seen this yet, but I think that could have made a Netflix series where, and I don't necessarily mean the film that I saw, but I mean the setting and stuff, the police investigating murders in the Arclay Mountains and that kind of stuff. Like that really lends itself to a possible TV series, and like it all ends up in the mansion and
just a final,
or just do the first game.
It's what's weird,
exactly,
with this the way they're presenting this, and it's just called Resident Evil. And you're saying it's a continuation of the game series. It's like, well, should you
supposedly
have prior knowledge then, or are they going to start explaining stuff that's just going to be like, or are they just saying that?
Yeah, I think it's not, probably the latter.
Yeah, they're not showcasing this as though it's, you know, the Resident Evil and then subtitle, you know, to kind of play into the game series. Like at all, it's presenting it as though this is its own self-contained thing.
I have a funny suspicion that in future London or whatever in 2036, in that timeline, new main character, whatever her name is, I'm not sure the names of the characters, but will meet a character at the end of like one of the episodes who's like older and got a beard and gravel or whatever. And then they'll drop a name, and it's a name from the games, and like it's Chris Redfield or something, and that's supposed to make you go, oh, but you're not gonna. I just have a suspicion that that's something they might do. That's like something they're keeping secret, like that there will be a recognizable character from the games. Well, I don't know if they will be recognizable, but there will be a character from the games.
Yeah, it's actually, you know what? This is going to be a Resident Evil version of Gotham. You know, it's just going to have various characters show in.
It could be
episodes at a time.
It could be, yeah.
Just saying, like, it'll have Leon. There'll be one episode featured with Leon, and his bit is he'll say monsters. At least after this, there'll be one less to worry about, and that's like,
yes, that's the entire character development for Leon.
Yeah, Are you kidding me? I'd love that. Where's everybody gone? Bingo.
Yeah.
Yeah. The more you also tell me about this show, Chris.
Yeah.
But it's set in the same universe of the games, and it's set in South Africa, or at least that's where the city's built. It just makes me even more like Tricell, which is in Resident Evil 5, is a company in South Africa that makes that does end up making bioweapons. So why did you just do Tricell? So I don't think everyone was aware.
Yeah, especially like if they use Tricell, that's a good shout actually, because people aren't as precious about that because it hasn't been used as much as Umbrella. That it's like if this was Tricell and it looked like this, you might be like, sure, okay, because I have never seen them like used in this way before, so I'll go with it. Why not?
You know, the original Resident Evil movies were actually very successful. They made a ton of money.
Yes, they were. Yeah.
And I can really see Netflix and Capcom, well, because obviously they're going to get a piece of this. Really just want more of that success.
Yeah. That's why I think reception though to this particular show or the trailer has been mixed. Right now, I've seen a lot of negativity.
Yes.
And that's largely from fans of the games who are largely negative about all live action interpretations of Resident Evil. However, I do think fans of those Mila Jovovich movies like what they're seeing, because this does look like a continuation of those movies more so than anything else. Like it looks like it's right in that DNA.
That would work, and that would be better considering those movies dealt with the cloning process and everything like that. And it dealt with building utopias and stuff. That was the entire plot of the final chapter, was to repopulate the world and build a utopia.
Yeah, it would fit in more.
Yeah,
definitely. But let us know where you guys fall in that camp. If you're watching this on YouTube, jump down in the comments, share your thoughts. This is audio platforms, touch base on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at The Brothers Take. Well, are you excited about the Resident Evil show or not, and how come? Where do you stand on it? Let us know. And how do you think Wesker survived that volcano?
And 2 rockets to the face.
And 2 rockets to the face. That's right. Let us know how that happened. But anyway, the other mixed reception piece from last week. I mean, loads of things come out every week. We can talk about everything, but we did say we would talk about Gotham Knights. Also, I just hit puberty. I'd like to play some baseball.
You're so hurt.
I'm choking up about this. Everyone knows how excited I am for Gotham Knights.
Okay,
but let's just say it has hindered a bit. Let me be honest with you guys.
Am I right in saying, because I didn't manage to catch it when it first came out, but is it just the gameplay footage of Nightwing and Red Hood? That's what was shown? Right, okay.
That's correct. And I have to say, in a similar way to the Avatar trailer, right?
Yep.
I don't think it was right of them to just drop this as if like, oh, and yesterday you heard from us. Like, no one's heard from the Gotham Knights development for such a long time, and to just like go, here's this, but there's not a huge presentation about it, and then not like a trailer to follow or anything like that. It just seemed so like something that should have been just in one of the summer game show things, as opposed to like, I don't know. I just feel like that Hogwarts Legacy State of Play treatment was wonderful and gave a glimpse at the whole game. And I think Gotham Knights is at a point where they need to do that, because people are still fucking confused about what this, like, people are still arguing. So it's a live service, and everyone's like, no, it's not a live service. Everyone said it's not a live service, like, but it looks like a fucking live service. So, what did you guys think? What did you guys think of the gameplay?
I won't be straight up.
Come on, bring on the.
This looks.
Bring
crap.
on the filth. Okay.
It does. It looks straight up crap. It doesn't look. It does at this stage. It almost, the NetherRealm studios kind of tend not. I find their games tend not to look as good as they could be, considering the focus is just on fighting, like an arena and then fighting. Like the Injustice style games, I think the textures and all tend to be fairly not great. This looks like one of them. Arkham Knight looks better than this.
Arkham Knight looks fantastic, lads.
Like this shouldn't. Like, have you seen Unreal Engine 5? Like the demonstrations of that. Like,
I don't think it helped them that came out the very next day.
It's like, and this is not running on PS4 or Xbox One.
That confuses the hell out of me. That is a weird.
It's almost as if you were developing for that, and that it just so happens that you're also going to release it on next gen.
As someone who is rooting for Gotham Knights,
yeah,
it is a bad decision to not release the PS4 and Xbox One versions, and I don't know why they made that decision. Like, and that's as someone who like has the next gen, right? So I'm not worried about me. I just don't think this game is a console seller at all.
No.
I think it's a game you buy because you have the consoles and have an interest in the Batman mythos or something, right? So to make it next gen only this year, it's not a good idea. I think this is going to damage their sales. Personally. Because I could see a lot of PS4 players picking it up.
Yeah. Yeah,
You
it's just it's confusing. It's like
weird.
unless it's not performing well, it's not running well.
Maybe
But
it's for the better for the game. I don't
But
know.
then it's why isn't it? I'm not really seeing anything that looks too demanding for previous gen, considering Arkham Knight looked better and considering Avengers, which this looks an awful lot like, runs on previous gen.
Yeah. Eric, what did you think of the gameplay?
Confused. The combat really felt really slow and sluggish for two guys trained by Batman. Where again, now I know it's not set in the Arkham universe, even though it should be set in the Arkham universe.
Yeah, I didn't know that actually. I thought I heard that, but then I wasn't 100% sure.
We've had that conversation before.
Yeah, I know. I think I was just like somewhat expecting it a little bit.
Yeah.
Again, for some reason, the presentation of it looks like it's another Arkham game.
Yeah.
Right. Until it isn't.
Until you see Jason Todd.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Mystical jumping.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't like. I mean, he has the zip line. Yeah, he has the I don't know, the hood,
right?
The hood claw. I don't know what you'd call it. You've got the back claw and the hood claw. So why does he need the mystical jumping?
Don't know.
I mean, the claw. I
have no idea.
Does fine, but the combat looked really slow and sluggish, and it looked like it takes forever to take down anybody. And it's like, no, you're supposed to make us feel like the characters. So I need to be able to take them down in like 2 hits the way Batman does.
I kind of felt like the guy playing didn't know how to play the game.
That could be the thing.
I'm not getting his ass hit.
Well, I'm not trying to be rude, but it just felt like watching anyone. It felt like maybe you're watching me play it, right? As opposed to a very set up particular presentation where they're trying to show you off the best of the best.
Yeah.
You get what I mean? Like it kind of just looked like
especially when it's Red Hood.
Someone's gameplay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Weird. Really weird.
So I thought it was also really weird because they were showing a section where like Nightwing has infiltrated a building.
Yeah.
And they'll show you like 2 or 3 seconds of it. And they're like, all right, now let's see Red Hood tackle it. And it's a completely different section. And it's like,
yeah,
what?
Not the same thing.
It's like, you're not showing me that like, oh,
why
Nightwing
only these two?
Yeah, I don't know why it was only those two.
Well, I take it wasn't it because the last time they showed gameplay, it was Batgirl and Robin.
Yeah.
So a lot of people are crying out for Nightwing and Red Hood, but the gap has been too long between them.
Yeah.
Like the gap has been so long that I don't know. They needed to show something more than what they've shown here. Like I actually, this is I loved the initial presentation. Loved it. Was right in on it. Like the Batgirl gameplay, I thought looked great. The only thing I didn't like was the little numbers over the head, which they've seemed to have gotten rid of because a lot of people didn't like them.
Yeah, but I think they mentioned that briefly, didn't they? They said
yes, you can alter the UI.
Yeah.
So that's what it's going to be, right?
So
you can like
remove
there, those levels if you want. But like I loved that. I loved the story trailers that they put out with the Court of Owls. I loved everything that they're showing. Now I'm worried, having seen this one.
Yeah, I think the gameplay looked. I think it's because it doesn't look necessarily like they've advanced since. Right, it almost feels like, okay, well, we have an engine. Can we just build a game out of it? Right, what can we do? Almost a bit like Metal Gear Survive. You know what I mean? Like they already had a game engine, and they're trying to think like, well, how can we sell this? How can we make money out of this? And so the combat doesn't look fully evolved. They don't, to me, don't look like. I mean, Batgirl is very similar to Batman, right? There's going to be some things that are going to perform a little differently, but ultimately, the gameplay is going to be quite similar. They don't look like they have Red Hood figured out fully. It looks a bit out of place nearly, especially with the shooting. And
I like his Devil May Cry 2 shooting.
Yeah, I think maybe more of that could be a little
like
cool,
it was faster and zippier maybe.
But I think he needs to have a close quarter melee. You know, he seems like he's only range. And whereas Nightwing actually has ranged attacks and melee attacks. And then the bit where he's like he beats up a goon, and you seem to collect like loot,
Yeah.
and that's very well Avengers and what's that one? What was that one that EA did? Where it was like you're in the mech suits.
Oh,
Remember that
yes,
Titanfall?
I know. No, not
Not
Titanfall.
Titanfall.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah. EA did it. You're flying around
Yeah,
in the world. Yeah. I know what you're talking. I can't
kind of
remember
similar to Destiny in that regard.
Yeah. Well, it's
there's
right.
a bit
every looting.
yeah, there's a bit of Fortnite in here,
yeah, there's a bit.
especially with the glider.
Yeah, big time.
So it looks to me that this is going to be like the Final Fantasy 7 First Soldier. Not that type of game, but when like you're playing that game, you're like, okay, this is clearly Fortnite with a Final Fantasy skin. And this to me looks like this isn't an Arkham game. This is one of those, like, whether it's Avengers or whatever that fucking other game I'm thinking of is. It's one of those.
Anthem,
yes.
Anthem.
It's one of those games with a Gotham skin.
Yeah.
Right.
Or Warframe or something, even something like that.
Yeah. So yeah, it's just not. This doesn't interest me as much as I would love that world. It's kind of similar to like the Middle Earth games, right? The Shadow of War, Shadow of Mordor. I'm a fucking huge Lord of the Rings fan. Just because you put a Lord of the Rings skin on it, that gameplay just doesn't interest me. So,
yeah, I think it's very disappointing that they didn't implement what I thought would have been a great feature. Is like, so in Final Fantasy VII Remake, you have a cast of characters who all fight differently, but you can switch between them during battle. Actually, you could do that in Arkham Knight whenever you had a companion with you.
oh yes, yeah.
And I don't know why, like, okay, so co-op is an option. I don't know why as single player you can't, at the touch of a button, change who you are. So like you're Red Hood, you're shooting, blah, 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 you're keeping your distance, and then you change to Nightwing, you're right in there with the melee, you switch back. You know what I mean?
And
I think
have
that
combos and stuff.
Yeah, and that could have kept it way more fluid. And also, it gives you an opportunity, like, you don't have to pick who you want to play as. You get to switch whenever you want. And you try everyone out at once, like, in battles. Especially if each character is going to be built like they're a different class as such. So, like, Red Hood is a ranged character. Like, if it's an RPG and this is essentially a party, then it would be nice that you use the party in combat rather than using a member of the party. So yeah, I don't know. I think they've just made weird decisions. And every time, and when they got criticism about the numbers over the head, they said, right, well, we'll customize the UI so people can choose to have it, but we're not getting rid of it. But the criticisms that they're getting now, when it's coming out this year, I don't know if there's anything they can do about it. Except
this one isn't delayed then.
This one is coming out on the 25th of October.
All right, okay.
It was initially supposed to come out last year, so it did get delayed to this year. And I think people expected to see it earlier than October initially, but then when we heard nothing, it was like, what the fuck is going on with Gotham Knights? But yeah, so it's so fucking annoying because the initial stuff looked so good. I'm hoping maybe they'll come out with something else that's like, oh, you know what, it looks good again, and that was just a shit presentation.
Could be because
it could be a Guardians.
Well, that's true. Guardians looked awful, and it was a very pleasant surprise.
See, because I think with the Batgirl one, it was
That
a big explosive moment. She was driving into combat, and then Robin came around, and it was a good presentation going up, and then
I like
the
that
boss fight. But this one was just like two little almost side mission, two little arena areas.
What a fucking waste of a mission to show off as well. Like, where it's like, these guys are about to hack something. There's a percentage on it. You need to stop them before the percentage goes up.
Yeah,
it's like,
that's a very Avengers thing.
Fucking every game ever, right?
Well, it's in Avengers. It's like you need to go to a certain area, and as long as you stay within that circle, while I don't know, something's being uploaded, you stay in that circle and you start defeating things while they're coming towards you. And if you exit that circle, it starts to fucking
so
you have to start again.
Capture the base kind of thing.
Yeah, and that's what I think is really worrying people, is that I don't.
You just hit puberty too.
I don't think the game is. It wasn't presented that way.
Originally,
but it's starting to.
It's starting to look that way.
Yeah, it is starting to look that way.
And even the costume menu or whatever, it's like, okay, there's some cool costumes in there, but the menu has it looked is like, that looks like a mobile game.
Yeah.
Like, it has the look of a mobile game.
Yeah.
And you have to collect the loot to kind of unlock them, it looks like.
Yeah, and build them, and then they have
Yeah.
different stats and stuff, which is a bit like, that's it's slightly annoying. I get why they're doing it, because again, it's an RPG more so.
Yeah,
But it is a bit annoying, because then you have to try to think about, are you bringing out the right gear and not just...
I'd love to know
being a
why...
badass.
Like, what was the decision process in making a game like this? You know, like, when they made Arkham Asylum, it was purely about, well, we want to try and capture what it's like to be Batman. What's the best... You know, let's design a game around that. And this doesn't look like this was the best kind of design for, you know, making you feel like you're Batman's party, essentially. It almost felt like some high executive was like, well, we need to add this shit in because that's what's popular now, or that's what the kids love, or it doesn't look like this. To me, I don't think based on that presentation as well, the way they were playing it, the way they're kind of talking through it, it doesn't sound like they have confidence in this game themselves.
That was the other thing. Like, I just think it was overall a bad presentation, and I think if they want to win people back over or whatever, there's still people like they're like, I'm getting this no matter what. Like, I'm in, but I think they need to do another presentation, and I think they need to be very, very specific about what they show, and give a good overview of what you can expect from the overall game experience, and then that will dictate to people. It's like whether it's okay, yeah, that's for me, or it's not.
Can you play as all four at the same time?
No, it's 2-player co-op only.
That's also very strange.
Well, I think I think it would ring more alarm bells if it was 4 co-op. Even though, yes, okay, you can play with more buddies, but that is even more Avengers. Yeah. And I think they were going for the whole dynamic duo thing. They were like, there's no such thing as the quadruple whatever in the Batman mythos. It's the dynamic duo is the thing.
Yeah, okay.
But
no,
then,
I was just going to say
why didn't they build a game that's you play as Batman and Robin?
Yeah, I don't want to do that. But you see, I would have then, if you're having the 4, and if you could have played as the 4, which you can't now, so this ruins my plan. But I
sure,
my plan, because I'm working on the game.
Yes, of course.
But the final showcase could have been something big and explosive, showing off all 4 of them working together. Yes, Adam?
Question.
Yes. Yes. The court seats.
Still trying to get my head around how this is not connected to the Arkham universe. Yes, Jason Todd is...
How are you... It's not set in the Arkham universe. That's it. There's no...
Then why is the Batman dead?
Because that's the setting they went for. I don't know why.
Right, so that's continuing on from the last game.
But it's not Arkham.
Barbara Gordon is walking around and Jason Todd looks like a jock.
Yeah, but there's magic and shit. Like, I'm not going to fucking start questioning why Barbara's able to walk all of a sudden.
And
they literally brought Jason back from the dead.
Yeah, fair enough.
Man, that's scientifically plausible. Did you not see the Resident Evil trailer?
Come on, man. And Jim Gordon has been dead for years in this continuity.
Okay, it just seems really strange because it really looks like it's continuing on. And
it looks like Arkham.
They must have started that way.
I agree with you, but it isn't. That's what they've come out many times and said it is not set in the Arkham universe.
Point? What is the point?
Well, I think maybe they wanted to design a Gotham that didn't look like the Gotham from the Rocksteady games, maybe.
But Gotham has changed in every single game.
Yeah.
Well, there is that. Anyway, guys, let us know how you feel now after watching the Nightwing and Red Hood gameplay. If you haven't seen it yet, go check it out. This probably wasn't the way to hear about it, but if you, you're probably wondering like, what Fortnite? What the fuck? See it for yourself. But if you have seen it, let's know where you are on the fence about this. Are you still excited about it? If you were excited about it, or if you previously weren't excited about it, has this excited you for it? Or are you less excited about it now or not excited about it at all? Let us know. Jump down in the comments on YouTube to share your thoughts. And if you enjoyed this discussion, please give us a thumbs up, hit subscribe, and click that notification bell for all future episodes. If you guys have been checking this out on audio platforms, then you can also touch base with us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at The Brothers Take to give your take on the good, the bad, and the mixed. Thank you very much for checking out this week's episode, guys. We'll be back to talk to you guys next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.